What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm breaking down the one and only trade that I took today on Tqqq, and I lost $84. Now, we're going to break down this trade, exactly how I took it, the reasoning for taking it, why I didn't take any profit on it, and why it ended up being a loser, when technically it should have been a winner, or it should have been break even. But overall, we're just going to break down the trade. So, as you can see, I have Tqqq pulled up. Now I used QQQ mainly to chart this, but Tqqq is what I used to actually trade it. So I'm gonna use that. So if you look, going into the day, I'm just going on the 5-minute time frame. We had data at 8:30, popped up, boom, started retracing. I noticed whenever we pull back on data and we start to chop like this, we either make a sharp move in either direction, either up or down, and then we typically go the opposite way. In this case, we made a sharp move down, took liquidity, and started making a move to the upside. So first thing I noticed, most of the time, what I've noticed is when we make that, oh my God, what am I even saying? Now I don't remember what I was gonna say. Okay, sorry about that. The camera messed up again. Anyways, 15-minute, we go on the 15-minute time frame, and we can clearly see that on the 15-minute time frame, let me just remove this box, I'll just redraw it. We have the shadow supply strategy popping up right there. Candle wick is larger than the body and the top wick combined. What do? Go to our drawing tool and we mark that out with a box. Boom, boom. And then we drop back down to the 2-minute time frame. Two things I like to look for on the 2-minute time frame are, first of all, did we break structure on the 2-minute time frame? In this case, here's a 2-minute fair value gap right in here. Boom, boom. We technically broke that right there. There's also 2-minute fair value gap right in here, but we broke both of those and closed above them. And then number two, here's the most recent high, push up, push down, 2-minute high, close above that as well. I really wanted a pullback more into this area, right? And one thing with this shadow supply strategy that I'm doing is if we take this and we drag it over, it's not like perfect, but if we take that and we drag it over, the 15-minute candle started like right around this time. So if in that time of the candle wick forming, if we get a 2-minute close in that box and then a 2-minute close outside that box, I can take it. Now I really wanted price to come back to this area and then make a move to the upside, but we didn't get that. So I ended up entering right here, and I set stops right down there. Obviously, you can see this long position right here that I marked out. My target on this was literally just data highs, slightly above data highs, so that I could get a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Unfortunately, that didn't end up happening. As you can see, I hit a 1-to-1 risk to reward, and I think I hit like a 1.2 to 1 risk to reward was like my highest. But you can see once I entered, we literally just slowly grinded up. We had support from the 1348 EMAs, so absolutely beautiful. Like everything was looking perfect. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we just dropped back on down. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, should I get out of my position? You know what I mean? Is this thing still gonna dump? I'm like, I'll just follow the plan. If it hits a stop loss, it's a stop loss. It didn't hit the stop loss. I'm like, all right, maybe we'll continue. And then we get rejected by the EMAs, right? And we just slowly trickle down. But I like all these wicks. I'm watching it, and I like all these wicks. I see this wick right here. I'm like, okay, this could probably be the last one before we continue moving up. And all we did was push up and then keep going back down. So I got out a little bit early. I didn't follow this exactly, but I got out right around here before it made that final push down. So I didn't lose my full risk amount. But regardless, on this trade, definitely what I could have done better would just be taking some profits, at least 50%, if not 80%, at a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and then just setting the rest to break even, because then I'd still be up. I'm happy with following the plan overall, but I do feel like setting that goal of wanting price to reach up here might have been a little bit unrealistic. So knowing that this is somewhat of an unrealistic goal for price to reach, I should be taking at least half profits at 1-to-1 in order to hedge myself towards this trade being profitable, essentially. So that's the breakdown of today's trade. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's just another trade. But you can see, regardless, win or lose on this trade, you can literally see this trade played out perfectly. Look at this. Shadow supply strategy. Bounced off of basically these, I guess, 15 EMAs as well. It came down here and took a little bit of liquidity on the 5-minute and the 2-minute. Boom, took a little bit of that, and then it started pushing up. Like, I don't know. You can't make this up. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good strategy overall. And as long as you follow it from a 1-to-1 risk to reward or a 2-to-1, I just have to kind of figure out where to balance the line between the 1-to-1, taking the 1-to-1, and taking the 2-to-1. In this case, it would have been taking the 1-to-1. You know, in other cases, you can literally see this same exact strategy on this 15-minute just run for, you know, like, for example, I don't know if I could find anything else. Maybe this trade within here. Not exactly. See, that's not really bouncing off of any, like, major lows or anything. I guess you could maybe argue this. I think this candle, like, barely fits that criteria. Just because the bottom wick is almost equal to, it's a little bit longer, but it's almost equal to the body and the top wick. But if you look at that, you can see this next candle moved over, right? And what did we do? Came down, we swept this liquidity over here, right? And then we made a move back up. So this strategy works. It's just a matter of choosing which risk to reward based on the scenario. Like I said, sometimes this thing runs and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you can hold it for multiple days, right? And sometimes you can only hold it for the 1-to-1 risk to reward. I'm trying to find an example of holding it for multiple days. I found one the other day on here. I just wanted to make an example of it. I guess you could use this. This would have been maybe a little bit riskier, but you know, you just set your stop and be willing to risk what you're willing to risk. This 15-minute candle here, the wick is longer. I'm trying to show this, but the other cursor is getting in the way. The wick is longer than the body and the top wick combined. And where is it bouncing off of? It's bouncing off of previous resistance, boom, 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 that we then break above and use as support, boom, and continue moving up, right? So we form that candle right here. All throughout here, we don't form that candle. Boom, we don't form that candle, we're in a downtrend. And then you form that candle right here. And then if you go down to a lower time frame, I guarantee you there's a break of structure in here. I wanted to say there was a 5-minute break of structure. What is this? I'll just do this real quick. There's probably a 5-minute break of structure in here. Here's a 5-minute high. Boom. Close above. Is that a close above? No, not yet. It'd be a close above right around there. Right? You enter at $70. I don't know, let's say $70.85, whatever, within this range, $70.80. Let's just say $70.80, right in the middle of that range. Your stop loss is literally $70.30 because you're risking 50 cents, and then you could have just freaking held it all day. 70.80, boom, you're still going. You would have made $3 if you would have just held basically to the top of that day. I'm not going to say you're going to hold to the top every single time, but what I am saying is, regardless of that, this strategy can make you that much if you decide to take it off of key levels. So with that being said, that was the trade for today. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video, and hopefully you can apply it to your own trading moving forward. And other than that, just hit the like and subscribe, keep pumping out videos, and just learning from the mistakes, slowly sizing up. We'll be using more capital hopefully soon. I'm completely comfortable with the strategy. I just don't want to have a massive losing day and have it affect my psychology too much. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.